Hello and welcome, my dear friends. I am Balaji. Hope you all are excellent. My dear friends, like every Sunday, once again, today it's being a Sunday, I have brought to you a very inspiring story. I hope you would definitely enjoy the story at the end of the video. So please stay tuned to the end of this video and enjoy the story. I assure you, I am sure that you would definitely feel ennobled, enriched mentally after watching this video, after listening to this story. The story that I am going to share with you today is not any imaginary story, but it is a real story of a real man like us. I read this story a few days back on social media and thought of sharing with you. So, the story is about one accidental writer, about one great successful accidental author in British literature. He became author just due to one emergency in his life, just because of one crisis in his life. Had it not been the crisis in his life, he would have never discovered his talent, and that talent would have gone undiscovered. So, sometimes in our life, difficult situations reveal our talent. So, difficult times, emergencies, crises in our life are in a way blessing in disguise. And the same thing happened in the life of Anthony Burgess, about whom I am going to tell you in this video. Before becoming a successful author, a well-known author, a prolific author, he used to be an ordinary person, like any ordinary person. And all of a sudden, he rose to be a great writer. And what prompted that? What prompted him to become that great author is a very interesting. So please watch this video to the end. First of all, I will tell you about him, his family background, his career, about his wife, in short, his birth date and all that. And then I will tell you about that day when he woke up and started writing. John Anthony Burgess Wilson, he was born on 25th February 1917 and died on 22nd November 1993. He published under the name Anthony Burgess, was an English writer, composer. Although Burgess was primarily a comic writer, his dystopian satire, A Clockwork Orange, remains his best-known novel, which was chiefly responsible for his popularity. He produced numerous other novels, including the Enderby Quartet and Earthly Powers. Burgess also composed over 250 musical works. He considered himself as much as a composer as an author, although he achieved considerably more success in writing. He was born in a lower middle class family. He grew up during the Great Depression in England. His parents were shopkeepers and were fairly well off. You can have all details about him, about his life on Google. I am not going into every detail in every information. My focus in this video is on what prompted him to become a prolific, a great, a successful author of several notable novels and books which earned him many prestigious awards, including Booker Prize. A very inspiring story. He had just a year to live and then death. Anthony Burgess was 40 when he learned he had an inoperable brain tumor that would kill him within a year. He had no money at that time and nothing to bequeath to his soon-to-be widow, Levella or Linnie. It was very sad about him. Burgess had never been a professional novelist in the past, but he was always aware that he had the talent to be a writer in him. So, just to be able to leave at least the copyrights to his wife, he put a piece of paper in the typewriter and began to write his first novel. It was not even certain that what he had written could be published, but he couldn't think of anything else to do. I quote, "It was January 1960, unquote," he said, quote, "and according to the diagnosis, I had a winter, a spring and a summer ahead of me. That year when the leaves began to fall, I would have died too within," unquote, "I had died too," unquote, within that speed and haste. Burgess had managed to write 5.5 novels before the year was out. E.M. Forster could only write so many in almost an entire lifetime. J.D. Salinger, one of America's greatest writers, managed to write only half of it in his entire life. However, Burgess did not die. His cancer first regressed, then it disappeared altogether. In his long and full life as a writer, he produced more than 70 works, most famously A Clockwork Orange. He might not have written even one of these novels had it not been for the death sentence that cancer had inflicted on him. Most of us are like Anthony Burgess. We hide a great talent, waiting for an emergency to emerge from within us. A useful exercise in self-motivation is to ask yourself what you would do if you were in Anthony Burgess' place and found out that you would die of cancer within a year. What would change in my life? How would I live my last year if I had learned that I would only live one more year? What exactly would I do, considering the brevity of life is a useful exercise? It often brings up surprising thoughts in your mind that will reveal your unused talents that have not yet surfaced or discovered. Every is talented at something or the other. It could be sports, drawing, playing musical instruments, singing, writing, so on and so forth. So my dear friend, discover it yourself and pursue it and make the most of it for both you and the world. I hope you got the embedded message in this story, and I also